If you're planning to do a no buy or low buy year in 2026, or you're just no spend curious, you found the right episode. We're going to break down exactly how to do it without the guilt, shame, or giving up in 2 weeks energy.
This isn't theory. This is our real life experience, our successes, our struggles, and the experiences of other people on social media so that you can have insight and actual steps to build no buy and low buy rules that work for you. Let's get in. Hey, Frugal friends, I'm Jen.
I'm Jill.
And if you have ever felt like this,
I think there's something severely wrong with me because I am so good at saving mentally. I'm like, do you know what? When that pay comes in, I'm going to put this much aside and I'm going to budget it all and I've got it all down on my list and I know exactly what's going out, how much I can save. But the second that money hits my bank account, I'm like, you know what? I've not been on a holiday in a while. On my roots, they're a little bit long. Maybe I should go get my hair done. And while I'm at it, I might as well get new extensions as well. And also my foundation is like halfway full and I saw there was a sale on. So I may as well top that up while I have the money as well. And it's coming into summer, so I'm probably going to need to start thinking about like bikinis because the UV is finally sick. So I should probably get myself a couple of those. And I also haven't had a takeout in a while. So I might as well just treat myself to like a nice dinner tonight. I'm thinking Mexican, maybe something Thai. I'm not sure. Also, I just saw this girl's nails on my TikTok feed and they looked unreal. And they're only $70 for like acrylic nail set. And that's on sale. So like maybe I should get an acrylic nail set as well. Like just as like a little bit of a treat. And then I'll spend all of my money and then be like, oh, okay, that was really silly. How about we wait until next payday? And as soon as next payday comes around, then we'll save. And we never save, do we? No.
then this episode is for you. We're going to talk about this phenomenon, about why we make these perfect budgets, have these perfect savings plans, and can't seem to stick with them. And we really believe a very powerful tool to overcoming that is a no buy or a low buy challenge.
We're talking about a no buy or low buy year, but we generally like to approach it in like a 30-day challenge. That's typically how we do it. And you wrote a whole book about it.
We are self-proclaimed no spend or no buy experts. I wrote the book, The No Spend Challenge Guide, and it is a bestseller on Amazon. It's been purchased over, 20 or 30,000 copies.
Which is insane.
So yeah, and people have found it very helpful. So I have been talking about no spend challenges since probably 2016. And so 10 years I've been talking about this. And we include it in our book, Buy What You Love Without Going Broke, as a section on how you can essentially visit an extreme to find your radical middle on spending. And so we're talking about both no buy and low buy in this episode, but they are not the same. But they are similar, and I think that they go together. So we're going to help you figure out whether you should do one or the other. But first, we want to define what they are.
Yeah. So with a no buy, you are not spending on anything except pre-approved expenses. So you do still get to decide, what am I spending on? But it's usually going to include only things like bills, your housing, food, kind of like bare essentials would be a true no buy.
And I would include in this, if you have a pre-planned event that you're going to, like a wedding or a Christmas party or something. Doing a no buy around the holidays is not a good strategy, but if you have to, then those things can be pre-approved. You're not going to be, if you have to pay for parking at an event that you agreed to, like you already agreed to help with it, but you have to pay for parking, like I wouldn't consider that like failing a no buy month, right? But it is a little different from a low buy, which a no buy is meant to be a short term, like very intense challenge, whereas a low buy is more of a lifestyle shift. And if you wanted to make it a challenge, then I would say it kind of aligns more with like an extreme frugality sort of like lifestyle shift. So it is, you can think of it as really prioritizing creativity over consumption. We are looking to get as creative as possible with how we meet our needs. And sometimes that involves spending money, but we are trying to spend as little as possible. And so that's why you can kind of think about it on this extreme frugality level. Again, should not be sustainable. I think when we're talking no buy and low buy, these are more challenges, and we want them to get us into this values-based spending mindset and habit. And that is long-term. That is a lifestyle that you should be honing and growing and living in long-term.
I think a lot of people will approach a no buy or even a low buy solely for the money that they can save. And I would say that's a great reason. It can certainly help us to find areas where we can free up some cash to put towards a certain goal. But I also think it's really important to recognize all the other benefits that do come with it, primarily recognizing our own spending habits and being able to shift some of the ways that we do spend, understand more about ourselves, our values, getting creative towards meeting our needs and not necessarily always pulling out the credit card. And so if done right, I think that these are the types of results that we can see.
I just finished a 1 month long no buy challenge, and this is how it dramatically improved my impulsivity when it comes to shopping. The biggest things that came out of it was definitely helping my shopping habits. During this no buy challenge, I didn't purchase any clothing, no new skincare products, no new home gadgets, only necessities and refills. At first, because I knew it was such a strict no buy, it almost made me want to purchase things more. I would see things and I'm like, oh, I can't buy it. I want it so bad. But honestly, after a week or so, I never thought about it. And once I got to the end of the challenge, I still didn't want to buy anything. It was not for like 3 weeks that I purchased like my first clothing item. Even then, it was something that I had on my wish list for quite some time. So that's another big thing that came out of it. This is something that I did prior and I continued during my no buy challenge was a wish list. So every time I would see something that I really wanted to buy, instead of buying it outright, I would add it to a running notes list that I had. And so whenever I felt the urge to purchase, I would add it to this list. And then once a week, once every other week, I wasn't strict on when I checked. I would kind of run through it and see where my desire was for these products. 9 times out of 10, when I would go back and look at it, I'd be like, I really don't care about it that much. There are certain things that are on there that I'm like, oh no, I definitely want this. And it makes getting it a little bit more satisfactory. And you know that you've put thought into this. This is something that's going to be, if it's clothing item, something that's going to be really used well in your wardrobe. Because I find myself just buying random stuff that I see when I come across a sale, or when I just see something random online that I thought was cute and I buy it. I find myself wearing it once or twice and then not really using it a whole lot. Either the quality's not great, or it's something that I can't really wear again and again. And so putting some thought in behind how much I'm spending, the quality of it, and how much use I'm going to get out of it. These are all things that having this no buy month really helped me think about. It puts space in between the impulsivity when you see something that you want and actually making the purchase. It was almost like a dopamine boost when I added the item to my wish list. It's similar to like actually putting it in the cart and checking out, just adding it to that list and knowing that I could potentially have this if I think about it long enough. I typically like things to stay in my want list for like at least a week or two. Majority of my stuff stays on my want list for like at least a month. But I always tell myself that if it's something that I really want and it's been on there, I can purchase it. Overall, doing the no buy month really helped me shop better, buy less, and just be more content with my purchases.
Yeah, that is the reason why I became so passionate about no spend challenges, because I went into it initially with just like, we need to pay off debt fast. We were in the process of paying off $78,000 of debt in 2 years, me and my husband. And I wanted to put a little extra money towards debt for 1 month. And the couple $100 I saved was whatever. But the things that I was realizing about my shopping habits, the way I viewed consumption, the way I consumed, the way I thought about things that maybe I didn't think when I wasn't like putting myself in this challenge, that stuff blew my mind. Like just the unawareness, even with all the budgeting, even with all the things that we had been doing, I had not tapped into this habit part and this values part. And so those were the things that kept with me. And those are the benefits of a no spend challenge. When done right, that's what's going to really benefit you. Those are the true benefits of doing one.
Yeah. And so I think when someone is considering, should I do this? What's best for me? Should I do a no buy? Should I do a low buy? I think it really does depend on what are your goals. And we're kind of outlining what some of your goals even could be.
Mhm.
Like, definitely do it if you are trying to pay off debt and you're trying to pay off debt fast. We are doing a no spend challenge in the month of January because we think that a no buy is a really good way to kick off some of these goals. Like truly kind of going very bare bones it can help you to really find some of that extra margin in your budget
Mhm.
to be able to put towards a goal. Whereas a low buy is going to kind of help you reduce your consumption overall. I think that this will definitely help us become aware of our impulse spending. It allows for a little bit more longevity. Like we could do a low buy year. I think that's far more
Yes,
realistic than a
absolutely.
no buy year. We could do a low buy 3 months. So low buy can go longer than 1 month because we're not being so stringent with it. It's not as much of just like a challenge that is not meant to be for very long. And so if you are really thinking, I need to just rethink the way that I consume, I really need to kind of dial in these impulse purchases, then a low buy year would be really great with you or
Yeah.
for you.
I think both are good and both should be done. So the no buy will get you will say no, just you won't have to make the decision of do I buy it or do I not? The answer is going to always be no, I don't buy it. If it's not like getting gas in my car to get me to work or a bill, like the answer is always no if it's a question. Whereas a low buy, the answer is not always no. The answer is, okay, is how do I get this in a different way? Is there a way to get it for free? Is there a way to get it low cost, secondhand? Is there a deal I can get it? And we go through these in order. And then if none of those three work out, am I buying this full price? Is it in my values? Am I doing it guilt free? So a low buy, teaches you it's harder. Arguably, a low buy is harder than a no
Not
buy
as strict of rules.
because
Yeah.
you have to think more about the consumption. Whereas the no buy, the answer is always
Always
no,
no.
right? So that's how we can think about the difference. And so we are doing a no buy in January with our community. You might have heard we're doing the 90-day debt-free fast track, which is
Woo!
a 3-month program. The first 3 months of any goal are the hardest. They are when you are the worst at your new habits, you are the worst at the new skills that you are doing, or maybe like getting back on the bandwagon. You're just the worst you will ever be at any given time, honestly. If we're being honest, like if you're intentional, you will get better. And so we want to be with you for those first 3 months so that you stick with it. Because I am convinced if you can stick with it for 3 months, then you're going to be able to stick with it for 6 months, a year, 18 months, whenever it is that your goal is.
Or
And
build the habits that will help to
right.
support that. Like I think that these types of challenges can really jumpstart us towards these goals, which is why we're doing a no spend 30 days as part of those 90
Yeah.
days. And then 2 other challenges that are meant to help you find even more cash to be able to put towards debt. We believe that it's totally realistic for anyone who participates in the challenge to find an extra $1,000 to put towards their debt in 3 months. And
Maybe
so
not an extra, but like a total
yeah.
$1,000 in 3 months. We want our community to pay off $100,000 of debt in the first quarter of 2026. That is our goal, and we want to be with you on that goal. So we have 4 calls with us at the beginning, and then at the beginning of each month, or at the end of each month. And then we have the 3 challenges that will build skills: the no spend, meal prepping, side hustles, and you're going to get my book, The No Spend Challenge Guide, for free, as well as Pay Off Your Debt for Good, which is another book that I wrote. And it's all for this one goal: to pay off as much debt as possible in 3 months. And so head to frugalfriendspodcast.com/debt-free and check it out and join us. Doors will only be open through December 31st because we start January 1st. And today, if you're watching this or listening when it comes out, today, December 16th, is the last day to get early bird pricing. So check that out if you're interested in it. Get it by the end of the day because you'll save a little money.
Can't wait. Okay, so we do want to give some tips on how to do a low buy, no buy.
We've got 5 tips, and honestly, you don't need more than this. Like, keep it simple, and you will thank yourself for immensely. And I think this experience from this creator really does exemplify that.
Oh, have I run a marathon, but I can't do this. I am failing my no buy because I'm not taking it seriously. I have a shopping addiction and 5 figures of credit card debt. I started this year off and made a pact with myself to do a year of no buy. That quickly changed to a low buy because I relapsed 3 times. We are now in February and I have relapsed more times than I can count. I'm scared to tally up how much I spent in January. I fear it's over $1,500. I didn't have a solid plan in place. Every time I felt down, I allowed myself to indulge. As someone with ADHD, I'm not a good planner and I did not stick to my rules. I'm someone who says, oh, I'm going to do a no buy. Then I realize I'm having a bad day and those rules don't apply today. I am consistently inconsistent. Does that mean I'm doomed? No, it's February. I can still do this. You can still do this. We can do this. I'm starting over and creating a new set of rules and actually sitting down and creating a plan that's going to work for me. Most importantly, documenting the process, writing everything down. Yeah, so it's not over for me.
It's not over.
It's not over. And yeah, you're right. Start with a plan.
That's the best tip.
And so that is the first 3 tips, essentially. So part 1 of that is starting with a 90-day transaction inventory. Before we create the plan for the future, we have to know where we are at in the present. And we find that out by looking at what we've spent on in the past 3 months. And I don't care if you're like, oh, I don't want to do the last 3 months because like Christmas was in there and Prime Day. No. There's always a sale. There's always a reason to spend. And so we always look at the last 3 months because those are going to be most indicative of what our habits are right now. So we go through our transactions in the last 3 months, every single one. And we are looking for patterns. We are looking for recurring transactions. We are looking with a neutral mindset. We are not looking to judge ourselves. This is simply a fact-finding mission. So we're going to look at, okay, when I spent on takeout on this day, did I love that? Or do I kind of regret that? I kind of regret that. Okay, what was happening on that day that caused me to get takeout? Was it a rough day and I didn't feel like cooking? Okay. Then we can write that down and be like, okay, I need to make a plan for when I don't feel like cooking. Was it that I'm treating myself because I had a bad day? Okay, I need to figure out how to treat myself when I have a bad day that doesn't cost money. Was it because a friend asked me out and I value community? I wanted to go out with her. Okay, I have to figure out a way to still connect with my community for free. This is what we are doing in the 90-day transaction inventory. We are looking at these transactions so that we can make notes on what we will need to put in our plan.
Yes. Oh, Love how you described that. Okay, here for it. Next, you're going to want to set your parameters, meaning what will you spend on? What won't you spend on? This is boundaries 101, my people. Okay. We are just defining what is okay and what isn't okay. You get to decide. So that's where the freedom comes in. Certainly, if it's no buy, we're going pretty bare bones. If it's low buy, you're going to have a little bit more leeway. You get to decide though, and literally make that list. What am I saying yes to? Yes, say yes to your housing, say yes to your bills, say yes to continuing to feed yourself, and then make your no list. And the no list can come from what was on the 90-day transaction inventory. We're going to say no to impulse purchases, no to anything that I haven't like considered for at least 48 hours, or saying no to going out to eat, whatever it is, you decide. Also, in this planning phase, we need to look at our calendar, what's coming up, because month to month life changes. I know, Jen, you already mentioned, is there a wedding this month? Is there a birthday party? Is there some sort of commitment that you've already made? I know a lot of times people might plan their no buy around a month that is more low key. I think it can happen whenever, but you just get to decide, you know what, we've already had this weekend away planned. Still going to do that, but what will the parameters be when you're on that kind of weekend vacation?
Because there's never going to be a perfect month to
Yeah.
do a no buy or a low buy. There's never going to be a perfect year to do a low buy, right? We have to work within where we are. And if you are committed to the goal that you want to reach, then it behooves you to not waste time waiting for the perfect month and just do it and set these parameters.
Yeah, it could mean that before you start the no buy, that's when you've purchased the gift for the thing, or maybe you've set aside a certain amount of money that you can spend, and so you can do that guilt free. You get to decide, but you do need to decide what's the yes, what's okay, what's not okay.
And we can kind of combine the no spend and the low spend in this, in that when we set a parameter that's like, okay, I'm going to my best friend's birthday and I do want to get her something, instead of just where habit would have had you head straight to Amazon or Target to buy something, then you're employing these low buy creativity techniques of, okay, can I get something for free? Is there something in my house that I'm not using that she might like that I can regift? Let's normalize regifting, please. Can we find something secondhand? Poshmark, eBay, treasure troves for beautiful secondhand items.
Or buy nothing groups.
Then looking at, deals and whatnot. But we can start to employ these when we have fewer spending decisions on our plate. We have more capacity to think creatively about our spending decisions. And so that comes into our next step, is to create the creative alternatives list. So you're going to take that list you compiled when you made your 90-day transaction inventory, and this is where we're going to get into how can I get these things for free. So we're focusing solely on free if you're doing a no buy. If you're doing a low buy, then we're focusing on free, but then also we want to have secondary low cost and deal options. If you are on the friend letter, which is our biweekly newsletter, then you got a list of 100 online secondhand shopping sites. We just send that. We send supplemental stuff for episodes out all the time. But if you're not subscribed, you miss it because we only send it out the day we publish the episode. So head to frugalfriendspodcast.com and sign up to get on the friend letter. It's right there on the homepage. But so we try to help you with these this creative alternatives list in the capacity that we can.
And if you're participating in our 90-day debt freedom fast track, all that type of stuff, even creative things that you can do for free within the no buy challenge,
that list
is
will
going to be
in the challenge. We
so
will
many
give that.
ideas of what you can do, how you can have fun. Because the thing is during a no buy or a low buy, we're not saying no fun.
Absolutely.
Low fun.
So fun.
We're saying high fun.
High fun, low spend.
Yes.
It's probably our other motto.
If it's not fun, it's not frugal, friends.
That
We
is
are
our motto.
not here to cut out social interaction or good times and laughter. We're just going to be more creative about how we do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then the final tip is to eat from your pantry, fridge, freezer. We know that this is one of the categories of spending that can get most out of hand. And during a low buy or a no buy, we're still saying yes to spending on food. But we know that there's all sorts of ways that we could be spending money on food, right? We could spend money on food by just buying groceries that are going to last us for a week, or we could be buying all the fancy ingredients, going out to eat. And I think that's where some of the justification of this rising line item in our budget can happen. And so to really rein this in and keep our food spending within some of those parameters of no buy, low buy, and to cut down on some of that impulse spending that can happen at the grocery store is by shopping your home first and creating meal plans around what you already have. That's going to be another part of our 90-day debt freedom fast track is meal planning, how to create meals with what you already have, how to create meals with some of these crossover ingredients, in-season ingredients, really beginning to implement the things that are going to help you to still eat well, but not expensively. And that's a whole other skill set that once the no buy is over, they carry with us.
Yeah.
We've now become more adept at knowing, oh, okay, I've got this can of beans and this thing of salsa and I guess a little bit of rice left over. Oh, that can become a meal, right? I did just describe rice and beans to you. But it is good.
It's just mind-blowing. The things that you're going to learn is mind-blowing, revolutionary, things you've never heard before. Definitely in ways you've never heard before. Okay. So I have a bonus step. And
give it to us.
Yeah. But I think it's really well personified by this video that I saw on social media.
I broke my no buy, so let's talk about it. It was somewhat accidentally, which I'll explain, but I still did it, and that's okay. You are going to make mistakes. It's not a linear journey to like budget better and stop impulse shopping and do a no buy challenge. And in the past, I would really beat myself up over something like this, and I would have stopped the challenge and been like, well, now I need to start over. I need to start next month. I need to start on a clean slate, start fresh because I already broke the no buy. And then maybe I would go and I would impulse spend on a ton of other things, but I've learned, I've grown, and I'm not doing that. And this is just part of the journey. This is what I broke my no buy for. It's a vintage Coach bag that I bought on eBay. And the reason that I made this purchase was because I was actually scrolling on my TikTok following page and a creator posted a video about how to use eBay for like vintage shopping. And she actually like laid out a bunch of search terms, keywords that you can use to find things. I've been wanting a brown vintage bag that's like a medium size one for a while. And so this fit all of my requirements, and it was a bit pricier than I like wanted to pay. I put in a low ball offer because I was like, it was late at night. I was bored. I was just scrolling and I was like, oh, like it's probably not going to get accepted anyway. And as soon as I hit it, I was like, oh, like I probably shouldn't have done that. Like I didn't need the purse right now. I could have waited. But the offer was literally accepted in like 2 minutes. Like it was accepted so fast. I had that buyer's remorse like a second later and I barely had time to think about it and cancel my offer before it was already accepted and a done deal, basically. Could I have put it off and waited until after my no buy challenge? Yes. But you're going to make mistakes. You're going to make purchases that were a little bit more careless or break your rules that you set yourself. And it's okay. You live, you move on. And that's a lesson that I just want to give to you.
And that I think is the biggest takeaway that I want you to leave this episode with. So if you've tuned out, come back to me for a minute. Don't stop. When you make a mistake, and you will make a mistake, I have said over and over, I've done so many no spend challenges. I've written a book on no spend challenges, and I have never done a perfect no spend challenge because if it's not a challenge, then why are you doing it? Why are you just not spending to not spend? Or you're not learning anything if the way you're doing your no spend challenge allows you to do it perfectly. And we're not in this to just deprive ourselves and hoard money. We're in this to learn more about ourselves, to improve our habits. So you will make a mistake on your no buy or low buy journey. And the biggest piece of advice that we can give you is to not let that derail you and just say, I'll start again next week, or I'll start again tomorrow or next month. Stick with it, get back immediately, make a note, because maybe it's something you just didn't catch it in your 90-day transaction inventory so that you can prepare for it. You can't prepare for everything, right? So we're making a note of what happened. What am I going to do next time this appears? And maybe it's scrolling less on TikTok, because even if you're scrolling, like, girlie got a deal on a bag that she wanted, right? Like, obsessively not a bad like gig, right? What she got. But it was in the no buy challenge. And yes, she could have waited, and she realizes that. She takes accountability, and she's back on it. And she's realized what she's done. And I love that. And I want that for you.
I think the biggest disservice that we can do for ourselves is just to be like, oops, failed, never mind, we'll try again, we'll wait for the blank slate, because then we're robbing ourselves of that learning opportunity. So much of this is meant to, yes, not just save money, but to be able to find out what prompts me to spend. When am I spending on the things that I'm going to later regret? What are the impulse purchases that I'm making? How do I shift those behaviors? This was a wonderful, because she chose to continue to sit in it rather than just move on. She learned about herself. Oh, I'm scrolling at night. I was bored. I did this thing that I thought wouldn't work. Then I got locked in. Then I experienced buyer's remorse, like you're saying. Now I know what I could do differently next time. Now I know when I am most tempted to impulse spend and what I can replace that with, because it's not just about deprivation. It's about finding better coping mechanisms, caring for ourselves in all of the ways better, because this didn't actually solve her boredom, right? Like, all it did was end up with her feeling anxious.
Yes.
And then how do you go to bed after that? She's in bed scrolling.
Yeah.
Probably going to interrupt her sleep. Like, there's just so many other things that this is impacting. So, but because she didn't stop, she was able to dig into the why, make some of those shifts, and stick with it, and probably create some of those better habits for the long run.
Our brain wants to be perfect. It does not want to learn. So we have a propensity to, no, right? Let me know in the comments if your brain is different. We want to be perfect because it's efficient to do everything right? And to not think about it and to not make a mistake. It is not efficient to make a mistake and then have to learn from it. And so lean into the discomfort of learning and making mistakes, and then diving back in. Yeah.
And wrapping up, speaking of,
we wanted, I think there's another video that really sums up this, what a no buy challenge or a low buy challenge can truly do for you if you stick with it.
I'm doing No by 2025, and the main takeaway from this is that I am so much stronger than I thought. And let's be clear, I definitely thought I was strong already. I've given birth unmedicated before, but this even tops that. And that might sound like an insane statement, but this has required me to have discipline every single day for over 300 days now. It takes a lot of willpower, but it also takes a lot of love for yourself and the desire to get better and have better for you and your family and whoever else depends on you financially. So if you've been kind of thinking about doing a no buy, take this as your sign, because it truly is life changing.
Mic drop. I think that really well sums it up.
Yeah, it is life changing. I mean, I've done even low buy things just for primarily to be able to save money, right? Like, there was a year, our listeners who have been with us for a couple of years now will remember, I think it was January 2023, when I really needed to crack down to be able to put as much money as possible
You called it
towards
the month of poverty.
well, I didn't actually call it that on screen because
But
it was
now-
a little offensive, but
But
now
now
Jen's
it's in
outing me.
and we've learned from it, and it was just a month.
Behind the scenes, I did. I called it my month of poverty, which is
So
you know,
maybe
a
don't
little
share everything that
tongue-in-cheek.
comes into your mind as soon as it comes into your mind.
Yeah. We were choosing to not spend a lot of money so that we could put as much money aside. That was right around the time too when I had kind of gone full time with Frugal Friends. I'd let go of my other full-time job. So there were some shifts financially that were happening. And so it was really reining it in. We weren't traveling, we were staying local and not wanting to do like spend a ton of money for that time, for those specific goals. But what that ended up teaching me was how to find free activities, the things that I can do with friends that don't cost a lot of money. And those things now have stuck with me even 2 years later. You know, we're going to, you've heard me talk about the free comedy shows that we go to and the events that are happening in downtown St. Pete and having friends over, going to friends' houses, sharing just whatever we happen to have in the pantry, freezer, and recognizing what I actually enjoy, like still getting to try new things and have fun with people. And so, yeah, again, to kind of underscore this idea of how life-changing it is, it's not just for the catapulting nature that can happen, which is also life-changing. If we can shave a few months off of our time horizon for paying off debt, that's life-changing.
Yeah, that's significant.
But if we can also learn more about ourselves and how to meet our needs in some really creative ways, that's life-changing.
Because then even after the debt payoff, then you're able to invest more. Then you're able to save faster for vacations or for car upgrades or for whatever you want to do with your kids. Like
Yeah.
these habits that you build now in trying to reach whatever, you know, debt payoff is what we're focused on right now, but like any financial goal, it is going to transcend
Yeah.
the goal.
Greater levels of self-confidence and self-knowledge, I think, is the antidote to consumerism. I think that a lot of times we buy into consumption, like literally and figuratively, because we're uncertain of who we are and we think we can buy this identity. But when we're able to find that in other places that are more life-giving, we're not going to be impulse spending as much. We're not going to be buying as much. And we're going to feel more sure inside of ourselves. Like truly what a lifestyle of frugality gives to us is truly priceless. And you know what else is priceless and free?
So values aligned as well.
The bill of the week.
That's right. It's time for the best minute of your entire week. Maybe a baby was born and his name is William. Maybe you paid off your mortgage. Maybe your car died and you're happy to not have to pay that bill anymore. Duck bills, Buffalo Bills, Bill Clinton. This is the bill of the week.
Save money, embrace it, living my life. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Hey, Jen and Jill. This is Stacy from Salt Lake City, and I just wanted to send in my first bill ever, and it's about insurance. I finally was brave enough to shop around for different insurances and was able to find a car insurance that was $585 for 6 months compared to the $1,800 we were paying. Don't ask me why we were paying that much. I guess we thought it was normal. So yeah, now we're saving around $250 every month because we also bundle it with our home insurance. Thank you, ladies.
Stacy,
You got it going on.
$250 a month is so significant.
That's huge. Huge. What you can do with $200 a month is massive. If it came to debt payoff, if it came to investing, if it came to setting aside money for your sinking funds, like you name it, that is no small amount. And I love that
Name
you
it,
called
claim it.
this brave because it does feel that way.
Oh my gosh, the calling.
insurance.
There's a call that you have to make
This is
that you
becoming Jen's tagline.
you haven't made it yet. You're waiting. You've heard me say this, and you still haven't made it. I need you to go make that call and let me know in the comments that you made it.
And then make your call to us and tell us your bill of the week. But
We're
still,
safe place because nobody's on the other end of that line. It is literally a voicemail.
I need to stick with Stacy for a minute in saying that insurance can feel so overwhelming. It is one of those very complicated, very complex. And you know why? Because there's a lot of money wrapped up in insurance. And where there's a lot of money, there's a lot of complexity. But we are smart, confident people. We can do this. And actually, resources like Policy Genius make this easy. They are an affiliate, frugalfriendspodcast.com/Policy Genius, but we do recommend them if you are in that phase where you need to be shopping for insurances. They can help you find the best quote for you. They can help you figure out what you could be bundling, who you could be bundling with. So you could maybe be like Stacy and save $200 a month. It's possible. Stuff like this is possible.
And you can see who you have for home insurance and see if they do also offer auto insurance to see if there's a bundle. Check there as well.
Yeah,
So,
make the call. There's a call you need to make.
make the call.
Make the call. And if that call is just going to frugalfriendspodcast.com/Bill to share a bill with us about saving money, spending money that you don't mind spending, your name is Bill, do it. frugalfriendspodcast.com/Bill. And now it's time for
The lightning round. Phew. All right. Sorry, I yawned there.
Oh my gosh. I put you to sleep during my
No.
lightning rounds. You just love chaos that much?
No, I'm tired from life. And as a result, will you be doing No by January with the 90-day debt-free fast track?
You bet your bottom dollar.
I will be, absolutely.
100%.
I actually do need it.
Because of poverty,
just-
Jen. Yeah.
Here's another reminder. There's something inside of you that you want to say out loud. Don't. I saw a YouTube ad the other day that's like, if you've got a message inside of you that needs to come out, and then like I just skip because I'm like, probably shouldn't. It probably shouldn't come out. So I'm just gonna be honest.
Because I'm too tired and I'm too angry.
Yeah, I'm too tired. I did say I was angry earlier today.
Yeah, you did. I'm 36 and I'm angry. That was the exact quote.
That's exactly what I said. Yeah. I won't say what I was angry about though. It wasn't Starbucks this time.
No, it was something worth being
but
angry
I do
about.
have a fantastic Starbucks rant on our channel that's
Yeah.
not in the podcast RSS feed. This was a YouTube exclusive. So check it out if you also are mad at Starbucks.
Okay, we digress.
Okay.
Why do you need no buy in January?
I feel very confident in my values-based spending practice, but it has been probably 2 years since I've done a no spend challenge. I did no spend January 2 years ago.
Yep.
And I think it's a really useful tool to inspect your habits. So to just do 1 month, no spend, no buy, will be good to kind of just reset.
Yep.
I don't feel like I'm out of control, but there's always things like you don't know if you don't know.
Yeah.
Right? And that always comes up for me when I do a no spend challenge.
The thing about it, and we talk about this even when it comes to budgeting, is that our lives shift and change, and we shift and change with them, which is one of the reasons why when we say do the 90-day transaction inventory, yes, do it now. Do it right after the holidays because you've built habits. over the holidays, right? It's been a
Yes.
month of just schedule and routine is
So
all over the
many
place.
ads.
The kids are home, lots of ads, lots of
Marketing.
sales. You actually do want to
Ads.
buy gifts.
Marketing.
Uh-huh. And we've probably just kind of become accustomed to that, and that it takes the reining in. And for me, that feels compounded by having recently moved. Like we moved in August, but we've kind of been spending the past couple of months still getting acclimated to this new lifestyle, purchasing the things that kind of help us to make our apartment more efficient and optimized. And so, but now I'm in this place of, okay, we're done. And I need to remind myself that I'm done. And I don't need to just keep going out and purchasing things that I need a reset on these habits. So I think even for people like us who we've done no buys before, but that doesn't mean that life hasn't lifed and we haven't collected new habits along the way that we need to just rein back in. So yeah, I'm going to be doing it with the rest of
I'm going to
you
be doing it.
for that 90-day debt freedom fast track, and we're going to find some money.
Frugalfriendspodcast.com/debt free. Please check it out. Please join us.
And you know what? Even if you're not paying off debt, even if you're like, I have renovations coming up. I have investing goals. This year, I want to max out my Roth IRA. Like,
Yeah,
this
maybe
is for you too.
you want to do $1,000 to your Roth IRA because spoiler or reminder rather, you can invest in
I like that. Spoiler alert on your Roth IRA.
You can invest in 2025's Roth IRA up until April 14th of 2026. So if you did not max out or you did not get an opportunity to invest in your IRA for 2025, you can do that in the first quarter of 2026.
Mhm.
And so please, we'll count it towards our $100,000 debt payoff goal. And I am so excited. I'm gonna be making some extra investments. Like that's what I'm gonna be doing.
100%.
So that is what I'm
Woo!
excited about because I did not max out this year's
Yeah.
Roth IRA.
This was the first year I did ever in life. I know.
That's wonderful.
I know.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
But I have it. So I'm gonna try to put $1,000 into this year's.
Perfect.
Yeah. So thank you so much for listening. We really hope that you join us for the 90-day debt-free fast track. If you like this episode, please like it, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe. Half of the people that watch our videos are not subscribed to our channel. And so if you want more stuff like this, please subscribe because we definitely use those subscriber counts to kind of gauge the content that people like and we make more of it. So please do that and leave a rating and review if you're listening on Spotify or if you've read our book, Buy What You Love Without Going Broke. We like to read those on the show. Like this one from Catherine, it's 5 stars. She says, Buy What You Love Without Going Broke is an absolute game changer. One of my favorite parts of this book is the 90-day action inventory plan, which I think she is talking about the transaction inventory. It's practical and easy to follow. It will help me pay down debt and get a clearer understanding of my spending habits. What really stood out to me was how the book encourages mindfulness in spending. When I take the time to pause and think about what I need versus what I want, I make much better decisions. This book has already made a positive impact on my financial life, and I know I'll keep referring to it for guidance and inspiration. Thank you so much, Catherine. And I think that perfectly translates into a 30-day no spend challenge or low buy. So
Oh,
we hope to see you there.
Yeah, please do support us. If you're still here, that means you're digging this. That means we're friends. We're vibing. So hit that subscribe button. Leave us a comment. If you're listening just to the podcast, leave us a rating or review. If you have read the book, leave us a review on Amazon. It helps other people kind of know whether the book is going to be for them or not. If you've not gotten the book, buywhatyoulovebook.com.
And if you want more, then if you've decided a low buy or no buy year is really good for you, then check out our episode on values-based spending because you'll get even more of that insight like Catherine was talking about in the review.
I fear that the girlies don't understand the rich because trend. I just saw a girl walking on the beach with an iced matcha latte, like, rich because I just finished my hot Pilates class and now I'm walking the beach with an iced matcha latte. Like, girl, that actually gives the impression that you are rich, which is awesome. But I love the rich because we farted so loud in the Target dressing room and me and my friend fell on the floor laughing, crying. Like, that's rich, you know?